Hey Math 90, this is section 2.4, solving linear equations. So in the prior two videos we solved some equations where we added and subtracted to help us solve, and in other problems we multiplied, divided to help us solve some problems. Well, now we're putting both of those together, and these are called linear equations. This is what an example, this is an example of a linear equation. And over here I'm going to write the steps, and I'm going to show you everything as I go through and solve this. So we want to solve 3x plus 3 equals negative 18. We want to find out what x is. So always look and see first if you can combine any like terms. Well, I'm looking on this side, I'm looking on this side, I don't have any. I can't put 3x and 3 together because they're not like terms. So I'm going to go to the second step, and that is we want to add or subtract. And I want to start on this side, the side that has the variable, because remember we want to get this x, or the variable, alone. So I've got a plus 3. What's the opposite of adding 3? I'm going to subtract 3, and remember I have to do that to both sides. Okay, so 3 minus 3 cancels out. This 3x comes down. Negative 18 and negative 3, we're going to add those two together, two negatives, so that's a negative 21. Okay, and then our last step is to either multiply or divide. And usually we're going to divide, but when we have a fraction, remember it helped us to multiply by the reciprocal. But usually we're going to divide. So I've got 3 times x equals negative 21. I want to do the opposite. So I'm going to divide both sides by 3. These cancel out. So x equals negative 7. And then the last step, check your answer just to make sure. So I'm going to take x as negative 7. I'm going to plug it back in here. So 3 times negative 7 plus 3, does that give me negative 18? Well, let's see. 3 times negative 7 is negative 21. Plus 3, does that get me to negative 18? Well, yeah. Both sides equal negative 18, so it checks, so we're good. So final answer, x is negative 7. That's my solution. So if you need to, just to help yourself out, look at these steps and go through this again. You can pause or go back, and let's do some more. Let's try some more to make sure we got it. So that was the very first one. I'm trying to do problems that are similar to the ones from the Hawks homework. So let's try, here's this one. Okay, so first step, do we have any like terms? We do not. So second step, going to start over here. Are we going to add or subtract to get rid of that positive 10? We're going to subtract from both sides. These go. -5 and -10, adding them together is -15. Step 3, multiply or divide. We've got 3 times x, so the opposite is division. We're going to divide both sides by 3. These cancel. -15 divided by 3 is -5. And then last, we're going to do a check. Does 3 times -5 plus 10 give me -5? So 3 times -5 is -15. Plus 10, does that give me -5 on both sides? Well, -15 plus 10 is -5, and -5 equals -5, so we got to check. So if you just go through and follow the steps, you should be fine. Okay, this one is similar to Hawks. We're solving for n. So I've got 3n plus 7 equals 20. I don't have any like terms, so I'm going to come over here to step 2. I've got a plus 7, so I'm going to minus a 7 from both sides. The 7's cancel. The 3n comes down. And what's 20 minus 7? Let's borrow. So I get 13. Now this isn't going to come out to be a nice number, but we can still do it. So we're on step 3. We're going to divide both sides by 3. So n equals 13 over 3. And use your keypad like we talked about before to punch that in as a fraction. So n is 13 over 3. Let's do a check on that. Let's see, 3n plus 7 equals 20. And we found, we want to know, is 13 over 3 the solution? Because that's what we got for an answer. So let's take, I'm going to make that 3 over 1 since I'm multiplying by a fraction, and I'm just plugging that in for n. Does that equal out to 20? Okay, well, we're multiplying fractions here, and along the diagonal I match up, so those can cancel, and then I'm going to multiply straight across and get 13 over 1, and 13 over 1 is just 13. And 13 plus 7 is 20. So 20 equals 20 on both sides, so it does check. Okay, I'm going to stop there, and in the next video I'm going to do some more solving, a little bit harder solving.